Good and happy day to you, my friend. This is Jaina with, finally, after long pause, another episode of Just Jaina. I've been a bit quiet in producing content lately because I've been going through this thing of what I call the icky. I have alexithymia, so I don't understand emotions as I feel them. That's resulted in me my whole life labeling things as either icky or non-icky. And the icky is could be anything: anxiety, apprehension, fear, nerves, or depression. And then the not icky is all the fun things. The This is me being simply being alive and being proud of it. The euphoria, the glee, sometimes the mania, the silliness, the goofiness. I express those abundantly when I am not icky. But when I am icky, that kind of takes priority. So I've been slow to produce content because I just feel kind of in the slums lately. And one of the challenges I have to face throughout my entire life is identifying what am I feeling? What's causing it? Am I able to fix it or help it? If not, am I able to at least get by? Do I have a plan to overcome this ickiness? I don't know. That's just how I am. So I haven't necessarily been eager to record any videos because that's the last thing on my mind. But because this is a blog about me in my many states of being, I feel it's doing a disservice if I show you only the good stuff and hide the bad, which is just me not being there. If you happen to watch my Jaina games or Jaina programs, you might see this distance, and that's me just not knowing what I'm feeling, and it's a crappy place to be. Alexithymia is very common in neurological conditions such as autism, ADHD, maybe even some bipolar. So I've been feeling really low and unmotivated lately, and I've got to snap out of it. I gotta give that a stop punch. So consider that a part A of today's episode, and part B is actually an experience that I'll share. And this experience took place at the DMV, of all places. Let me rewind to the beginning. About 12 years ago, I bought my dream car. My dream car was a Mazda Miata MX-5 of the early 90s years. The ones with the pop-up headlights, the ones that look really cute and you could literally put teeth on them and they'll look adorable. Yes, that's my dream car, and I paid for my dream car in cash in San Francisco, and I proceeded to learn how to drive stick while there was a cast on my right hand in the streets of San Francisco. That was fun. And by the way, I did it by grabbing the steering wheel with my thumb, and then there we go. When I needed to shift, I would take my left hand and I would put it under, and I would shift with my right thumb because the cast was covering it like this. So my right thumb would grab the steering wheel while it worked. And when I got my cast taken off, I still shifted that way for quite a few months. And I even learned how to use the chopsticks with my non-dominant left hand at the same time. So, I got this car and I've always had it. I haven't taken the best care of it because that's another life area I'm lacking in. Taking care of things, such as keeping it nice, polished, and shiny. It's gotten kind of scuffed over the years. And I also killed the engine by not checking the oil and had to buy a new engine from Japan. A lightly used engine, 25,000 miles. It was like only a grand or so. So it has a newish engine in it, but I haven't been driving it because my wife and I got a car. We bought a Hyundai, brand new, back in 2013, and that car served us well. I would definitely recommend it, but I would not recommend buying new, and that's a totally different story. So we had that car, and then I totaled it 2 weeks ago, and you remember me talking about that, don't you? I totaled it, and we decided, you know what, there's no point fixing this heap. We should just use mine. Problem is, one of the life areas I'd been neglecting was paying my registration. So that was about 6 to 8 months past due on that Miata. But I hadn't been driving it and I hadn't needed it until now, which required a trip to the DMV. So as of now, I have registration, I have insurance, I am I have an updated driver's license that will be good for another few years, but I'll be getting a new driver's license when I change my name and gender legally, hopefully very soon. So yay. But I did have to go into the DMV, and this was the first time I've gone to the DMV while presenting. I started presenting about 2 months ago, full time, as female, presenting to the world, a take it or leave it approach. I started presenting about a month before I even started hormones. So, in years from now, when I tell people, hey, I transitioned, and they're like, wow, what was that like? I'll be able to say, well, I started out by living full time as female before I even begun the hormone replacement therapy as just a sign of me not containing, not being able to contain the femininity within me and wanting to present to the world and experience life as female as fast as possible. As of now, I am actually really well acclimated doing that. Days and days will go by where I'll just go about my regular business without even remembering, oh, that's right, I'm presenting in public right now as female. It's become so natural. But I cannot neglect or forget the very early experiences of mustering up the courage and being bold and stepping out that front door wearing a dress when it might be perfectly obvious to some people who look closely that I am biologically male. And I have not had that many negative experiences. I've had some weird looks, some nasty stares, some questioning comments, which I was happy to answer. And that's that. I just go about my day, and this is just another thing of me, which is really kind of cool. And if you're male to female or female to male, just know that there will be a point when you start presenting, after you start presenting, that it'll come so natural to you, and you'll be like, yay, I am me, and I can express me abundantly. Yay! So I went to the DMV, and usually this is where a lot of like the horror stories happen, because people at DMV are not there because they want to be there. They're there because they have to fulfill some sort of responsibility placed to them by our really bloodthirsty society. Thanks, America. And I actually had a really positive experience. Now, there's not much to report. Um, as I walked in, there were no glances because I walk tall and confident. And a little quick lesson for you. I stand and I pull my shoulders back and I elongate my neck a little bit. That creates the appearance of being slender. And pardon this little pimple, it's very annoying, especially when trying to shave. And I walk confidently. Now, practicing my walk, I had actually walked feminine before ever any of this ever started. I would walk with my hips slightly swaying, one foot directly in front of the other, so I could walk in a straight line without looking down. And it's just something you have to practice. And I highly recommend practicing your walk because it makes you feel confident when you walk. And people had even, before gender identity came into the picture, people had even commented on my walk. Two types of comments. One, I love how you walk, or you look like you walk with purpose. That phrase, walk with purpose, has been said to me quite a few times. And you want to walk like you know where you're going, that you belong. And then the other comments were feminine in nature, like you strut your stuff like a female. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, no, not me, no, no. That was denial phase. So yeah, I walked boldly in, got stood tall while I was standing in line. No one really looked. Because I have mastered the art of blending. And blending is very similar to passing, but it's more general purpose. Blending is when you can exist in an environment in which nobody is paying specific attention to you, but nobody also questions your gender, or if your gender that you're presenting as matches your biological gender. So, in that sense, I could pass 99.9% of the time because no one ever gives me a close look unless I confront them. Then it becomes more obvious. Oh, I see. I get. I get what's going on. So I got my number. The lady was very nice. I encounter a lot of people in the wild like this. They treat me really nice, and it's sincere and genuine, and I sense that it's really coming from their heart. They are genuinely, as I've learned, overjoyed to be in the presence of someone who's transgender. That exists, and I've encountered so many people who, when I met them the first time, and each time following up, when I meet them, they are so happy to see me. Like, oh, you're that cool person. That has that kind of vibe. And I take it, and that's all how you present yourself in terms of confidence. The walk and the posture, that's just one aspect. Another aspect is simply treating them as if you know who the frick you are. They sure as hell um, should understand who you are as well. Like, you have a very, like, no doubts way of dealing with social encounters. I feel like I stumbled my words a bit. Let me rephrase really quick. You are confident in who you are. That's it. And you don't give any room for doubts or questions. You state your like this is why I'm here. This is me. Let's get this done. So in the DMV, I stated my case. I need this, this, and this. Here you go. She took the look at the driver's license. No, she looked at me. That there was no like conflict. She's like, okay. She understood the situation, and like that was awesome. So I got my number. It was of course 30 in advance, so I was there for an hour and a half. And I filled out while I was there. I filled out my gender change request form as well as my name change request form. Here in California, it's in one form. But there are like 6 articles that I had to print out, and I filled out while I was at DMV, which was pretty cool. Good on you for getting that life thing done, Jaina. Next stop, Superior Court. So my number is called. I go up, and the lady again, happy to see me, much happier than the how she was treating the person before me because I was kind of like standing there for 30 seconds while she kind of like meh meh meh, but then she saw me like, oh hi, and it is possible she might be a lesbian, but I am only stereotyping. I don't know for sure. Like I'll just be honest. People who have a certain style, 90% of the time, they're a lesbian, a certain style, and I'm not going to try to describe it. It is what it is, and I'm so happy. Like if I got the lesbian DMV clerk, I would be so overjoyed because you diversity win hashtag diversity win. Uh, Here's the really cool part. She said, "Okay, I got your paperwork. I'm gonna go process it over there. You're gonna have to sit down." And then she leaned in. She's like, "Just letting you know, normally we call names based on the driver's license, but I'd like to know what name you would like to be called." See, because she scoped me out as obviously transgender. So like, well, thank you so much, I said. Like, it really means a lot to me that you would go above and beyond by catering to like what I like to be called. Because to be honest, I'm used to being called Jason. If someone says that, I'm not gonna scringe. Scringe. I'm not gonna scringe if someone calls me Jason unless it's done like by a friend who knows I like being called Jaina and still insists on calling me Jason. And even then there's special cases where I allow that. So for her to go above and beyond is amazing, and I'm going to leave a positive review with my testimony at that DMV. Like she made my day a better one, and you can't say that often about DMV experiences. So that's what happened, and I left very happy in my convertible that's now officially registered. And yeah, I now feel heavy on my heart that I want to do an episode about presenting in general, about what I do that I don't even think about doing that might help others, and some encouraging words and techniques you can try to help your presentation game if you're new to this. So tap it in, Jaina, tap it in. I am going to do that. But I wanted to give you that short, quick story that turned out not to be so quick. And I included a lot of other stuff here in the episode, so this episode is a bag of fun, tasty treats. Ah, just for you. And I promise I will do more sincere episodes in the midst of my ickiness. Because that's a topic in itself. Jaina's ickiness. And quite opposite, Jaina's non-ickiness, aka mania. If you've seen the episode titled Home Alone, oh my gosh, that's pretty much me when I'm feeling really good about life. And it comes out very whimsically, almost like I'd say Terry say autistically, but hey, it's who I am and it's sincere, so I leave those episodes online. Likewise, I'm gonna have really shitty days, and I'll have episodes where I just talk like this, and you might be like, "You're making me die right now." I'll have those episodes too, because this is my life. This is Jaina in her many, many flavors. Boom. It's time for you to get back to your day. Time for you to kick more ass than I did today. And yeah, I wish you a great, awesome day. I always say this, but I say now more than ever, please say hi in the comments. Just say hi. I will create a little heart next to your name by loving your response. That's it. Bye.